The Bucks do need a lot of help, but they're going to take Eric Berry. He's the best athlete in the draft. But yeah, the Bucks take Eric Berry. No doubt about it. He's going to be the best just the best athlete left on the board. Not besides the best safety. And the Bucks take Eric Berry. I don't see why they don't.
It's a great pick. Eric Berry's a great player. Obviously, one of those players like Nick Adamu come in immediately, just make this team better. Their defensive backfield, and no one would ever say this about the Bucks in the past 3 years, but you got a new coach there, you got a whole new franchise, pretty much.
I'm sorry. The reason they take Berry is because they're obviously not going to take one of the quarterbacks. They drafted Josh Freeman last year. They're fine at running back. They don't need really anything there. And they did a decent enough job of protecting Josh Freeman. And Josh Freeman's mobile enough that if he needs to, he can get out of the pocket. So I think you can address any offensive line needs later on in the draft. So Eric Berry makes the most sense.
You're right. So it makes the most sense. The next problem, though. They don't have a defensive line. Plain and simple.
True.
Barrud is going to be a free agent. If they don't tag him, he's gone. Who wants to play for a team that sucks? It's plain and simple. I sure as hell if I was playing in the NFL, don't. They're going to wind up taking... They're probably going to wind up maybe going after Eric Berry. But I think their biggest problem has to be getting the pressure to the offense. And I just think Gerald McCoy is going to be that guy. Oklahoma, he was phenomenal this year. I just see a great potential with Gerald McCoy. I don't compare him to Nick Adamu because I don't think he'll make that immediate impact, but I do think he will be a great pick. However, again, I agree that Eric Berry won't be a bad pick. I'm not saying I agree completely with your draft, but to me, I feel Gerald McCoy fits the team best. The Redskins.
The Redskins. You know what? Jason Campbell is not the answer, and with Jimmy, in my eyes, Jimmy Clausen's still on the board. The Redskins, especially with Mike Shanahan as a new coach, he's going to want to just leave Jason Campbell behind. The reason they leave Jason Campbell behind is because 2010 is going to be an uncapped season. So if you cut Jason Campbell, there's obviously no penalty against your non-existent salary cap. So
Jason Campbell's a free agent, though, Mike.
All right, my bust.
Okay.
But anyway, they take Jimmy Clausen. Campbell has been there enough years now, and the Redskins haven't won shit. Not to say their offense is spectacular, but I think they have enough weapons to show that Jason Campbell should be decent, and he's not cutting it. They've given him more than enough chances, especially when the year they made the playoffs. Their backup veteran Todd Collins was the guy that led them into the playoffs.
You know what? The Redskins have always shown that potential to be something early. And
they spend the most money.
And they sound like the Raiders. They sound like the East Coast Raiders. They should be called the Washington Raiders and the Oakland Raiders because they're both across the country, but they both do the same crap and both suck every year. Dan Snyder, Al Davis must be best friends because these guys do not understand how to run a football team. There is a good reason and a great reason why I believe Denver got rid of Mike Shanahan. You bring in Josh McDaniels, that guy, look how that team played under Kyle Orton, a bunch of nobodies on defense. Who would have thought?
Guy, who heard of Elvis Dumervil before this season? Led the NFL in sacks.
Exactly.
Who do they take?
I believe the Redskins got to. With Mike Shanahan's philosophy, take Russell Okung. Okay. It's an obvious choice in my eyes because they need to protect the quarterback. Jason Campbell was sacked too many times. Let's talk about the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs.
We'll round out our top five, and we'll continue this next time. The Chiefs. Now, originally, it's not a downgrade, but if most likely the Chiefs will end up getting Russell Okung. In my draft, no. But if Okung is off the board by the time the Chiefs pick, they have to take an offensive lineman to protect Matt Castle. Because, again, Castle was good in New England, but look at the team around him. The Chiefs don't have as many weapons as the Patriots. So the Chiefs need to get an offensive lineman to protect him. And Bruce Campbell from Maryland is going to be, I guess, the answer. The next best guy. They have to take him.
I think they got to, find someone to get in that linebacker position. Rolando McClain, Alabama, great player, great for the system. Romeo Crennel, the new defensive coordinator over there now, is just, he's going to want that. Granted, Charlie Weiss is going to complain about maybe going after an offensive lineman, like you said, grabbing a wide receiver, but I don't think Des Bryant or Golden Tate or Brandon LaFell, all these
trade down, or
you
trade.
You can wait till your second round pick to go after a wide receiver.
Especially if you have an early pick.
But anyway, their team's got a lot of potential. I would say the most they would need on that offense right now is a tight end. Ever since Tony Gonzalez has been gone, they need a tight end. I got Rolando McClain. He soared up the board to go at number 5 to the Chiefs. Number 6, who do you have? To the Seahawks.
This is interesting. New head coach Pete Carroll. I think the Matt Hasselbeck era in Seattle is done, because with Sam Bradford on the board, you don't leave him there when your team is pretty much in need for a franchise quarterback. So I say the Seahawks at number 6. Keep in mind the Seahawks do have 2 first-round picks, number 6 and number 14. So at 6 right now, you address your quarterback need. Sam Bradford from Oklahoma goes.
Here's what you got to watch, though, Mike. I highly doubt the Browns are going to go quarterback. For a fact the Raiders are probably not going to. The only true team are the Bills.
You got to take them before the Bills do.
However, the Bills have a lot of talent actually at quarterback. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Trent Edwards, and the guy they just picked off of Atlanta's practice squad a couple of years ago when Matt Ryan was drafted in the first round. The guy just fell apart. I can't tell you his name right now because I just forgot. But the guy was highly ranked in the NFL draft when I believe it was the 08 draft. Yeah. And anyhow, I have to go with, you said him already. If he's off the board, of course, you got to think about the quarterback. But I got to go with Eric Berry. Best player. Got to take him. Because you know what? At number 6, he's already fallen too much. Eric Berry, Seahawks, number 6. To go to the Browns.
Now, number 7, we both agree on. The Browns desperately need defense. The offense showed a lot of potential with Josh Cribbs, as long as they re-sign him.
If they can retain Cribbs, get the quarterback coach to get Brady Quinn in check, their offense shows promise with Jerome Harrison. You got some good young wide receivers.
Yeah, the offense can develop, which is why you got to draft defense. And right now they got to worry about secondary. With Eric Berry obviously off the board, Joe Hayden the next guy down.
Joe Hayden.